Alrighty, a question on this problem. How to calculate the return on stockholders' equity. What is the ratio for return on stockholders' equity? This ratio is given directly from your book. And what I always want to know from students is, how did you do the calculation that gave you the incorrect answer? I need to see that in order for me to better assist you to see what you did wrong. This is pretty straightforward, so let me work that out for you. I already did. Here you go. The ratio is net income divided by average stockholders' equity. Net income is given in the problem right here, 500,000. So take 500,000 divided by average stockholders' equity. Average stockholders' equity, this may be where you were unable to obtain the answer because you couldn't figure out what is the average stockholders' equity. And in your book, it tells you take the beginning balance plus the ending balance and divide by 2 in order to get the average. Well, where's the beginning balance and where's the ending balance? Here's total stockholders' equity, 1.6 million. And this is taken from its most recent financial statements. It's taken from the most recent financial statements, meaning that it's the most recent one. It's done at the last period, ending. So it's the ending balance, right? Ending balance. But where's the beginning balance? We weren't given that information. And if we're not given that information, the beginning balance could be assumed to be 0 then. Okay, so 0 plus 1.6 million divided by 2. As you see here, 1.6 million divided by 2 equals 800,000, and that's the average stockholders' equity. And just plug into the formula, 500,000 divided by 800,000 gets you 62.5%. And that's the answer to your solution, which is, the answer or solution to the question, it's C, 62.5%. All right, so this is where it threw you off. That's what I'm guessing. This average stockholders' equity, beginning balance plus ending balance, when it's given, divide by 2. If it's not given, then it's assumed beginning is 0 because what they're given is just the ending, as it says in the problem. And so 0 plus the ending balance divided by 2. Next one is, you had a second question, which is figuring out the ratio of liabilities to stockholders' equity. So it's the ratio of liabilities to stockholders' equity. How much liabilities or debt, long-term and short-term, because it's just liabilities, as a percent of stockholders' equity. Ratio between the two. How much is liabilities as a proportion of stockholders' equity? And this is straightforward. You just take one number, divide by the other. And here they give you in the problem liabilities, but they have shown as current liabilities, you see, 230,000, and long-term liabilities, 450,000. So add the two together and that becomes your total liabilities. Divide by stockholders' equity. Okay, that's the equity of shareholders. And that is first, retained earnings. It's the amount of earnings that have been retained from previous period. Each period prior adds up to now 1 million. That's been carried over and over. And yeah, they may have spent some of the retained earnings, but this is what it is right now as retained earnings. Okay, and when retained earnings is the net income in the business, the operation of the business makes money, it goes to the bottom line, net income. Net income gets retained in the business, and it's a part of retained earnings. Whatever is retained, yes, they may take some money out and distribute that money, or take money and spend it. So it may go have a balance, then go down, and then have more net income. It increases it, or more capital from the shareholders. Okay, then that's all that makes up retained earnings. So 1 million, as well as common stock, 250,000. That is also a part of stockholders' equity. This is the amount that the business have, money that they have by issuing common stocks to shareholders. Shareholders purchase a share, and the company gets this money. It becomes part of stockholders' equity. So the individuals would have a share of the company, and hence stockholders or shareholders' equity, 250,000, as well as the retained earnings of the business. These two combined equals stockholders' equity. And you just plug into the formula. Here you see in the green section, total liabilities 680,000. That's these two numbers added up. Divide by total stockholders' equity, 125. I should say 1.25 million, or 1,250,000. And what does that come out to? Take this, divide by this. It's 0.544. So it looks like your answer is A when you round it, okay?